Today is all about immune health because if you haven't seen it on the news this week, you know that flu cases are at historical highs. I have one question. Why is that? Welcome to the Let's Talk Shit podcast. I am your host, Lisa Garrett. I am a wife, mom of 4 boys, 2 German Shepherds, and I'm a gut and psychology practitioner. Look, I know you've done all the things with diet and exercise, and I also know that your health means the world to you. I'm going to show you how your gut health is the game changer to your weight, your confidence, and your stamina. So if you're ready to become the shit in your life, then let's jump in. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Shit. I think this is my first podcast in January 2026. Yeah, because last week I recorded probably New Year's Eve. Anyway, this is exciting. The holidays have come and gone, and we're into a new year. And if you haven't listened to the podcast on resolutions and how not to do them, go take a listen. That's episode 30. I can't believe that I have done 30 plus episodes. And get ready because I've got some guests lined up, which I think you're going to love because you might be getting a little sick of me. That's okay. It happens. And I'm going to have I have a doctor lined up. I've got someone who built her whole business on her grief experience in life. You won't believe her story. But I'm also going to have some clients on, some clients that have gone through the everyday stuff that you're going through and have come out on the other side. So I cannot wait to have some of my clients on. I'm also going to have some of my family on. I would love to have my father on if he could figure out how to do this. I have to go over there and show him, look, when you get this email, this is what you click on. I would love to have him on because he's been such an inspiration to me. And I think it would be really, really cool to have him on. And I want to have some of my boys on because they are the products of my philosophies, my child raising, my parenting, my mistakes. And so I want to have them on and they're like, really, Mom, why do we? I'm like, look, you don't have to, but I think it'd be fun for the audience to kind of see the other side of some of these people I talk about. So I've got some fun things lined up because you know what? I love hearing on other podcasts from, world-renowned people. I love it, but I like to hear from the everyday people that are just doing life and have these experiences that have molded them and inspired them because then I get inspired, right? So I'm hoping that will align with you. Today is all about immune health because if you haven't seen it on the news this week, you know that flu cases are at historical highs. I have one question. Why is that? One question. Nobody's answering it. And they're sort of playing around with it and sort of not. First of all, there's one thing you need to know. Whether you get a flu shot or not is not the point of this podcast. That is a you decision. If you feel like you need it, get it. If you feel like you don't, whatever. Everybody's got their feelings on it. But just so you know, the flu vaccine that you're getting right now is not for this year's strain, whatever it is. It's for last year's. So they take the data from the flu cases from the last year, and they say, okay, this strain of flu had this much, the percentage was high of the cases, so let's make the vaccine to knock out that flu strain, right? So just, you need to know that going into it. When I was a young mom and my boys were getting the flu shots because they were asthmatic, I was told I needed to do that. They haven't gotten a flu shot since. I don't get a flu shot. I didn't know that until I went back to school and got my master's, and I learned about, oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? We're injecting last year's flu strand with this year's issues. Anyway, so the question I have is, why the historical cases? If people are getting the vaccines, and probably, let's say, I don't know, 50% of the people get the vaccines or more. If more people are getting vaccines, why are the cases, quote, historical? That's not, I'm doing air quotes, historical. So whatever your situation is with the flu, maybe you've had the flu, maybe you haven't. I want to tell you right now, I'll get to it. So I'm going to give you some ways that you can arm your immune system. They're easy ways. They work. I do them. My kids do them. My family does them. And it helps, because the object of the game, as I said in episode 30, one of the things, probably the biggest thing I'm doing in January, is I am just like Wonder Woman with the flu. Get away, get away, get away. And so I'm trying to be healthy. And here's how I do it. I'm going to share it with you. Number one, if you are not taking a vitamin D supplement, pause this podcast, drive over to your CVS or your Walgreens or wherever you get your supplements, or order them online and get a supplement. When you take your vitamin D, take it with food. Today I went downstairs for lunch, and my sweet husband is like, hey, do you want some lunch? I'm like, I have to get back up. I've got 10 minutes. I'm going to eat some salmon. Yum, yum, yum. Clementine. Yum, yum, yum. And then I notice the vitamin D, and I'm like, oh, did you take your vitamin D? Because he's got some traveling coming up in the next few weeks, and I want his immune system armed. He goes, oh yeah, I took it this morning. I go, you what? He goes, yeah, I took it this morning. I go, with your coffee? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, no. We take vitamin D with food. It is a fat-soluble vitamin. It needs to bond with other D from food. So when you eat eggs, when you eat salmon, when you eat avocado, when you eat beef, chicken, right? Olive oil. It's a fat-soluble. It needs to bond with another fat-soluble food. That's how you absorb it. So that's the first thing. And then he said, who knew? And I said, I knew. That's the big joke in our house. Who knew? I knew. So make sure you're not taking your vitamin D with your freaking coffee, because you're just peeing it right out, all right? Along with vitamin D, you have to get some sun. Yeah, these go hand in hand. Why do you think our animals sit in the sun in our house? Like if you have cats, they sit in the sun in a room. My dogs go out and they lay on the deck in the sun, because vitamin D is healing. Animals don't know what it's doing. They don't know that it's stimulating the mitochondria in every cell. If you have trillions of mitochondria that get recharged from the sun, you feel better, okay? It helps lower pain. It helps increase immune functioning. So when the vitamin D hits your face or your hands or your arms or whatever, okay, it's right there that cholesterol grabs that and turns it into the absorbable form of D3. That's why you see supplements that are D3. But you've got to have cholesterol and you have to have some natural D. The best vitamin D supplement is going to be the sun. Okay, but since we can't bottle the sun, we have to get it from things like cod liver that have A and D in it, okay, from animals that are, like if you have chickens that are outside roaming around, they're actually getting some natural D that is passed on to the eggs, okay? So vitamin D is the immune supplement. That much we know. And if you're not sure how much you need, just go get your levels checked. In fact, everyone should get their levels checked in the dead of the winter, because in the summer, they're probably naturally high, okay? So get your level checked, take your vitamin D. I just took 10,000 IUs today because I haven't taken it since December. Shame on me. So, and then Jim just took some more. And so I won't take it tomorrow. I'll probably take it once a week. I tend to run deficient. I will be getting my D checked in February, which is still winter. And I'm sure my doctor's always like, can you just like take that supplement? I know you take supplements. He's always like begging me. But here's the thing, knock on wood, I haven't gotten sick since the C word, COVID. I haven't gotten sick. And I got sick from that when I got the vaccine. And I think I shared that in multiple episodes. A few weeks to the date, and I got COVID after I got the vaccine. That's okay. It wasn't that big of a deal for me. It was totally fine. It was a cold. I was really tired. So first things first, vitamin D. Second thing, natural light. Get out of your fake light and don't wear sunglasses. The vitamin D has to get in through the body. It can't get through if you're wearing your Ray-Bans or your Tommy Bahamas. You got to take them off. And you know what? In Omaha, in the morning, the sun is gorgeous. Let that sun hit your face if you're driving to work or whatever, as long as it's not blinding. Let it hit your face. Take your freaking sunglasses off. Take your hats off. Everybody's so afraid of the sun. The sun isn't the thing that's making everybody sick. It actually makes you healthy. Okay? It's all the shit we put on our face that makes it unhealthy. So, and if you're putting a block on, you're blocking that absorption. Okay? And if you're taking a statin, your statin is a cholesterol lowering drug. It is pushing your cholesterol down. That means you're probably deficient in vitamin D. You probably need to take more. I won't even go into statins. Oh my gosh, I just opened a can of worms there. So vitamin D, natural light. Even on cloudy days, you can still get vitamin D, as you know. Okay? You can still get it. So cloudy, cold, whatever, just break free of the unnatural light and get outside. Okay. Third thing I want you to do is sweat. So if you work out every day, you've got that covered. What does sweating do? It drains the lymph system. Your lymph system is hanging on to all the toxins. And when you sweat them out. Okay? So if you, like when I work out in the winter, I wear a hoodie and my workout pants. Okay? It makes me sweat more. I don't like to be cold during a workout. When they don't have the air on in the gym, I'm kind of happy about it because I like to sweat. Now, sometimes it gets to be a little too hot, especially in July. It's not that they don't have the air on, it's that it's not fixed. It always happens like in April, May, and June at the gym I teach at. So you want to be able to sweat it out. That's why like spin class for me is so freaking awesome because I'm just drenched. It's like all the toxins just flowing out of my pores. It's so good for you to sweat. And here's the thing. It's so good for you that you can go buy a gift card to Perspire and sweat, or go to a sauna, or have your own little sauna in your home. Sweat, sweat, sweat. You're meant to sweat. So do it. When I did have COVID a few years ago, it was 22, yeah. I didn't have a fever, but I felt like the tightness and run down, and I didn't want to go to the gym because the gym is like the DMV of the workout world. It's just freaking filthy beyond belief. Like everything's dirty. Everything's just so dirty. It's just gross. It's like, and the cleaning crew, I don't know if they can even keep up with it. They need to have someone in there 24/7 cleaning because it is just full of germs. It's gross. So I didn't want to go there because I didn't want to get like a secondary infection. So I went to Perspire like during the day. I don't have a sauna at home. So I went there, and you can have your own little sauna, and it's awesome. Okay. So I went and I just did the red light therapy for 45 minutes. Felt amazing. Feels so good when you're sick if you can sweat without moving your body, because sometimes you don't have the energy to move your body. And that's where you go sit in a sauna, wherever you can go do that, okay, and sweat. And I think 3 times a week until you turn the corner is really good, okay? Getting just outside in general. Now, this is one of the beauties of living in the Midwest, is that we can go outside and we have super crisp air, okay? Even if it's 50 degrees, like today it's 60, which is unheard of. When I'm done here, I'm going to be taking the dogs for another walk because they're spoiled, and Lisa wants to get outside. So I like to take my dogs with me because they do quirky things and it's entertaining. But getting outside, just the natural light and the air in the winter here, it's crisp. There's no bugs. There's no pollen flying around. There's no fertilizer flying around. I just feel like the air is so much cleaner in the winter here. So that's really, really good. So get outside, get out in nature. And if you can put your feet on the grass and it's not frozen or cold, even if it's cold, it's okay. Root down a little bit. Like that's really what your body wants. And let me remind you that winter is a time of hibernation. This is not the time to go gangbusters on exercise and projects. It's just not. I know it defies all the New Year's resolution information that's out there, but winter is winter, and it is time to rest, and it is a time to take care, to nurture, and get ready for the warmer months that are just ahead so that you can literally spring into action and move more and take advantage of, the longer days. Okay, so we exercise outside, sweating. Let's talk about water. Just water. I can't tell you how many people I talk to. I would say 80% of the people I work with say, I don't drink enough water. And then I have the nerve to tell them, hey, don't drink water when you eat. And now I've just decreased their chances of drinking more water. 2 things. 1, water is cleansing, plain and simple. Think about when you're in the shower. You use water to rinse off the soap. That's what water does in your body. It cleanses the blood. Okay, so if you feel puffy, if you have a headache, if your nose is stuffed up, if you have that scratchy throat, if you have that congestion, water does a lot. Okay, water will do more than we give it credit for. So resume to just regular water. Okay, if you have reverse osmosis, great. If you have filtered, great. Try to avoid drinking out of plastic because it's plastic. But some kind of cleaner water is ideal. And the thing about gut health and not drinking water when you eat is this, because I dropped that bomb, so I have to explain it. You have hydrochloric acid in your gut. Your body makes it, okay? When you eat something like an apple, chicken, avocado, whatever it is, Jimmy John's, I don't know, whatever you're eating, after you chew it, it drops down into your small intestine or your stomach. Well, right there waiting, because your saliva in your mouth sent a signal saying, hey, food's coming down there, get that hydrochloric acid going. So it gets pumped into the stomach. Well, when you eat the apple, chicken, whatever, and you guzzle water to get it down, and now you have improperly digested food that sits like a rock in your gut because the water washed away the acid, much like the water washes away the soap when you shower. So you want to avoid water with your meals 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after. Now, if you're eating 6 times a day, avoiding water becomes quite a challenge. So don't eat 6 times a day. Eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not. And I bet you it's not 6 times a day. If you're eating 6 times a day, you probably didn't eat what you needed, or you're bored. That's simple. So sit down, eat your breakfast, eat your lunch, eat your dinner, or eat your lunch, eat your dinner, whatever it is, 1 meal, 2 meals, 3 meals, whatever you decide. And in between those meals is when you have to drink your water. Do you even know how much water you should drink? Half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need 100 ounces of water. That's just to maintain. Then if you do a workout, okay, you need another 20 to 24 ounces per hour of exercise, depending on the intensity and depending on the temperature. If you're doing if you're doing something outside and it's 95 degrees, you're going to need more water. In our spin class, it's 45 minutes long. I go in there with a blender bottle. It's, I don't know, what is it? 30 ounces, something like that. It's gone by the time I'm done, but I'm sweating quite a bit. But I'm not thirsty the rest of the day. And I do drink water. So half your body weight in ounces plus 20 to 24 ounces per hour of exercise. That's what you need for water. So don't underestimate the power of water when you're sick. Now, if you want to drink warm water, like I love to have warm water with lemon when we go out to dinner, like after a meal. I just feel like that is so soothing because my meal is done. And I usually gauge it, it's 10, 15 minutes after I'm done eating. Can I get you some coffee or another drink? No, hot water with lemon. And she's like, oh, okay. So she brings my little lemon water and it's awesome. That also works really, really well when you are sick. Warm water with lemon is so soothing. And that brings me to my next thing, lemons. Stock up, buy them every week. And if you want to really support your immune system with natural vitamin C and naturally occurring electrolytes, squeeze half a lemon into a little bit of water and shoot it every day. That's all you need. Okay. So you don't have to go buy another vitamin C supplement unless you want to. Get it from lemons. Okay. It's naturally occurring vitamin C. And it supports immunities. It's also really good for just eliminating, believe it or not, the acid. You want your gut to be more acidic because that's where all your food is processed. And bonus for vitamin C, it is the vitamin that is needed to build collagen. So for everybody who's throwing collagen in their coffee, which is awesome, or putting collagen in a smoothie or collagen in your soup or your oatmeal or whatever you're doing, it's great. But you need vitamin C to build collagen. So this is where it's the building blocks of, not protein, of health. So you have some vitamin C with your lemon, and then you have your coffee with your collagen. Now you are locked and loaded because you have the vitamin needed to help you rebuild collagen, and you have the collagen readily available in your body. Okay. Let's see. Let me talk about sugar. It seems like when people are sick, people want ice cream. They want something sweet. They want a comfort food. I just deserve it. I just want this. I want to eat, I don't know, ice cream or whatever. Let me tell you something. Sugar stuns your immune cells for up to 3 days. So if you go gangbusters on the Russell Stovers tonight, your immune system is vulnerable for the next 3 days. That means after you consume chocolates or ice cream or Christmas cookies that are left over and you don't want to throw them away because, they remind you of whatever, you don't have to throw them away. Put them in the freezer. Just put them away because then you'll have company over or you can take one out later. Just put them away. But if you eat too much sugar, and you know what too much is, we all know what too much is. I have to tell you, my favorite candy of all time this time of year is hot tamales. I love to eat them, and I love them in the summer. It's the 2 times a year I eat them. So Jim gave me a box for Christmas. I'm like, oh, dang, I wish you wouldn't have because now I have to eat them. He goes, do you? Well, you bought them. So I got into them last night. So I had a handful. I love them. And they always leave kind of an icky feeling on the roof of my mouth. I don't like that. And that should just tell you right there. Like if it's doing that to the roof of your mouth, what's it doing to the rest of you? Do you ever think about that? A food that leaves like, an icky, vibey feeling, not a vibey feeling, a different feeling. Okay. So I ate that last night. Now, today, if I am to eat more hot tamales and more and more and more, and then let's say, it's not 60 degrees and I didn't teach a spin class and sweat and I didn't have eggs and my homemade bread for lunch and I didn't have salmon and a clementine for lunch and I'm not going to have a steak salad for dinner, but instead I'm going to eat Taco Bell and then I'm going to meet some friends for happy hour and drink 2 or 3 margaritas. Now I've totally effed myself over and now my immune system is like, girl, what are you doing? You had the hot tamales, and now you're eating junk food and processed food, and now you got alcohol. And guess what? The white blood cells are like, girl, no. And the immune cells are like, ding, like they just got hit in the head with a boulder. They can't stand up and fight the viruses that are coming around. And then I go out in the public, and someone coughs or sneezes, and they've got the flu, and they don't even know it yet. But I walk into the doorway, they just did that, and now the germs are in the air. What did they say, 20 feet? And that shit hits my hair, and I go and, stroke my hair down, and then I rub my eye or my nose, and now, I inhale it. That happens all the time. We don't even know it. So you should take sage with you and burn it, so when you walk into a room, you just wave it in front of you. Get rid of all the bad mojo. But that's what I mean. Like, if you're consuming sugar on the daily, sugar, candy, ice cream, soda, alcohol, processed foods, too many breads, too many pastas, too many cookies, sugar-free, nonsense, crappy calories, your immune cells get stunned and they don't rebuild for 3 days. That means the cells that are on the front line are no longer able to combat the viruses that are lurking and trying to infiltrate your body. Okay? Does that make sense? Good. So make sure that if you do get sick, you don't reach for the sugar. That will only delay you getting well. What you really need is something warm, something nurturing, and something really nutritionally dense. For me, when I'm sick, I reach for a soup. I just love a soup. One of my favorite soups to get when I'm not feeling well is egg drop soup. It's high protein. It's keto. I don't even crave any carbs. I want something, with some density in it. And it's easy to digest. The easier your food is to digest, the less strain on your body. Because when you're trying to fight a virus and you have a fever or you have a cough or a sore throat or you have laryngitis or you're coughing up shit from your lungs, the last thing you need is a big chef salad to make your GI system work 10 times harder when your body is under attack. Okay? I need you to hear me. When you're sick, remember the, chicken soup for the soul? Yeah, chicken soup for the body. That's why soup is called, what do they call it? Penicillin for the body, chicken soup. Yeah. Have that stuff. And right now is a great time to make it and put some in the freezer so that if anyone gets sick in your family, you can just pull it out and give it to them or make it for yourself or heat it up. So if you're going to make soup, make a little extra and put it away. And I don't mean like Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Gross. I mean like the kind of soup you make at home with the ingredients that you buy. Okay? It's made by your hands. You know what's in it. And remember, when you're sick, you need to give your body the best. Not the sort of best. Not this'll work for now. The best. Because you want to get well. You want to get well sooner than later. And to that, you want to eat only real foods. Again, I know it's tempting to have comfort foods like ice cream. And you know what? When is the last time you were in the hospital or you went to visit someone? Look at the shitty quality food in a hospital. And if you're a nurse or a medical professional listening to this, please say it to the powers above. Please provide better food in a hospital so that people can actually heal. I cannot believe the garbage they feed people in a hospital. I can't believe the garbage that's available to the people they're going to visit. I can't believe it's just there. Like, the hospital should be the Taj Mahal of food, because this is where we come not to die, but to get healthy, right? So you need the best food when you're sick. So when someone calls you and says, hey, you want to go to lunch? Oh, I can't. I'm sick. Oh, is there anything you need? Actually, there is. I need some organic lemons. I need some raw honey. And could you pick me up some bone broth? And if there's a soup that you've made at home in your freezer that's dairy-free and gluten-free, bring it over. That's what you need to say. Okay? That leads me to raw honey. Honey is one of those foods, not just the honey in the little bear, raw honey. It has not been pasteurized. It has active enzymes in it, which means when you take the liquid gold, and it has enzymes that help create more enzymes in your gut, so you break down your food better, so you absorb it better, so that you get all the nutrients you need to heal and thrive. So raw honey, throw it in that warm water with lemon. I can't think of anything better. Sore throat, raw honey. Here's the other thing. Sore throat, you can gargle with salt water, but one of my holistic friends, she gargled with cayenne pepper. And the next day, her sore throat was gone with a little water. I don't know. Can you do cayenne pepper in your throat? I don't know if I could. She did. She's tough as nails. She also lives off the land in Kentucky. So she's tough as nails. I don't know if I could do that. Okay. So anytime you have that in your throat, laryngitis, even though you don't have a fever, you sleep 12 hours out of nowhere, you're coming down with something. That is the time to jump into action to prevent the whole thing from unfolding. So right after Christmas, I did that. I had a night where I was in bed like at 8:30, asleep, and then I had a little bit of the going on, and so I think I shared this in the previous podcast. I made bitters. I call them, they're bitters, and it's you take the rind of 3 organic grapefruits, 3 lemons, and you peel them. You save the fruit, and you can juice them or eat them, whatever you want to do. And then you take the rind, make sure you scrub it really, really good. Get a veggie brush, scrub it, put it in a saucepan, cover it with water so there's about 3 inches of water over the fruit peels, and then put a lid on it and simmer it for 2 hours. Do not take the lid off. You have to keep the lid on. Then take it off the heat, let it cool to room temp, and this could be several hours. Sometimes I make this at night and let it cool to room temp overnight. It won't hurt it. Leave the lid on. And then I dump the rind, strain it out, and the liquid is simply the water and the taste from the grapefruit and the lemon, okay? And it's very bitter. It tastes, I can't even tell you how bitter it tastes, but it does kind of take your breath away. But I'm telling you what, and then I put it in the freezer. I put it in little containers and I freeze it. And then when I get the text from my kids, Mom, I'm sick, bam, I run it over. I gave my parents some. I sent some with my son to school, both of my sons. And then some friends of ours were supposed to go out with us on New Year's Eve. So I ran over to their house, dropped it on the porch, told them how to take it. And here's the thing. You take 1 or 2 spoonfuls every couple hours until your symptoms go the other way. And then you stop taking it. And then you can refreeze it. Of course, you use a new spoon every time. You don't want to contaminate it. But that works really, really well because we don't have hardly any bitters in our diet. How often do you have something bitter? Another thing that's a huge antioxidant, 2 things. 1, apricot seeds. Those are so freaking bitter. Those are cancer-fighting little seeds that you will not believe how incredible. I started taking those with oil of oregano supplement I think it was last spring. And I had like this little flaky junk on my eyelid, and I would peel it off and then it would come back. I was like, what is that? I was like, gosh, is it skin cancer? I don't know. I always think the worst. So I started taking oregano, and then I would eat 1 or 2 of these apricot kernels every day. It's gone. It hasn't been back since. So those 2 things are major antioxidants. And no, you cannot eat enough oregano. Get it in a supplement. Make sure it's pure, okay? And make sure if it's not just oregano that it has black seed currant with it, because together those things work to provide a major antioxidant. I take it every day. And I did take that when I had that little kind of go on after Christmas. I doubled up on it. So the more antioxidants, and vitamin C is a great one, but it's not as powerful as some of these other ones. But I did take vitamin C too, in the form of the half a lemon, because I prefer to take that. I prefer to let my body look at a food and say, thank you, Lisa, we know what to do with this, versus a supplement that has to break down all the stuff. Sometimes you have to take a supplement like oregano, okay? All right. And then there's just 3 habits that you need to live by when you're sick. Number 1, eat when you're hungry. Doesn't matter how much. Your body doesn't know calories. Remember, when you're fighting an illness, your body's working 10 times harder. So if you're hungry, eat. And if you're not, don't. But always, always hydrate. It doesn't take any energy to drink water. It doesn't. Get a straw, get your Stanley, whatever it is. Just drink some water. Hunger, it doesn't matter. Remember, when people are actually dying, they've quit eating long before that, but you're trying to hydrate them to ease the transition of life to death. So hydration is key. Okay. Sleep. Sleep when you need to and get up when you can. And it doesn't matter how much you're sleeping. If you're sleeping easily, then your body needs that. And if you're finding yourself sleeping several days out, you need it. Lean into it. Go with it. It doesn't matter what anybody says. You know your body best, and you know when you need rest. So lean into it. And then the last thing is, when it comes to exercise, I get asked this a lot. Should I exercise when I'm sick? Is it good? If you're contagious, no. But it's always good to walk. If you have the energy when you're sick to walk around the block at a stroll pace, or just walk out and get the mail. Walking is the most natural form of movement to the human body. So go for a walk. You don't push yourself. It's not about time, miles, blocks, calories. It's about moving, because anytime you move, you're also circulation increases, heart rate increases. Your heart works a little harder. But you have to know the point where if I work too hard, it's too much, right? So listen to your body, take a walk if you feel like it, bundle up, a little cold air never hurt anybody, and just move your body in the most natural way it was meant to move. And the last thing I'll say about immune health is, if you want the recipe for the grapefruits and stuff, DM me. I will send it to you. And Standard Process has a wonderful immune system health pack. It has 30 little packets, and it has Immuplex, Cataplex C, I think it has a D in there, and calcium. And when there's the right calcium in the body, which is in a lemon, viruses cannot exist when calcium is there. So taking calcium every day is not just good for your bones, but every single tissue in your body needs calcium. Message me about a great calcium, because the orange tablets that you get at Walgreens are zero good. Most calcium is equivalent to rocks. You cannot break it down. You cannot absorb it. What you need is something closest to the calcium that your body makes, which is ionized calcium. That is in calcium lactate, and Standard Process has a great one. I take it every day. I take it at bed, but I up it. I triple it when I'm, getting run down. I start taking, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get in front of this, right? So you kind of want to clean up the crime scene before the crime even happens in your body. And then you recover faster and you don't have all the residual effects, because the second you're run down, you are vulnerable to other viruses, right? So eat good, move when you can, rest, and just nourish your perfect body back to health. And I promise you'll be so much better if you change routes and instead of running for, all the Mucinex and things like that are just Band-Aids. They don't allow for the body to heal. It's just Band-Aid. Yes, they help. But if you can nourish and rest and reset before you need the Mucinex, that's what you want. So, happy 2026. Be happy, be healthy, be well, and as always, make some shit happen in your life. Hey, before you go, would you like to receive my ultimate gut repair guide for free? This guide has everything you need to know about leaky gut, what's causing it, how it's affecting your daily life, a meal plan, and 5 ways you can start healing your gut today. This is the same framework that my VIP clients use when they start healing their gut. It's amazing. All you have to do is leave an honest review of Let's Talk Shit, screenshot it, share it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at Lisa Garrett Nutrition. I hope today's episode inspired you to make some shit happen in your life, because you're freaking awesome. And I cannot wait to connect with you next time on Let's Talk Shit.